Open as usual. The wolf opened the door very quietly and stepped inside. The wolf bounded up to the bed, opened his mouth wide, and swallowed Granny in one big gulp. She vanished right into his belly, slippers and glasses and all. The wolf burped and rubbed his belly. Then he wriggled into Granny's spare nightie and spare nightcap and snuggled down into bed. Little Red Riding Hood stepped through the door. "Hello, Granny." She put the flowers in a vase, put the cakes on a plate. Plate, 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 plate. Then opened the curtains. When she saw Granny in the sunlight, she said, "Granny, what big hands you have. All the better to hug you with," the wolf whispered. She opened the window. When she saw a breeze ruffle Granny's hairy ears, she said, "Granny, what big ears you have. All the better to hear you with." The wolf smiled. She lit the fire. When she saw Granny's face in the firelight, she said, "Granny, what big eyes you have. All the better to see you with." The wolf chuckled. Little Red Riding Hood carried the cakes over to the bed. When Granny grinned, she said, "Granny, what big teeth you have. All the better to eat you with." The wolf opened his mouth wide and swallowed Little Red Riding Hood in one big gulp. She vanished right into his belly, cloak and pigtails and all. The wolf burped, rubbed his belly, and lay back down. Oh my. The wolf was full of Granny and full of Little Girl, and the bed was warm and soft. Soon he began to snore. The hunter, tracking animals in the forest, heard the snores. "That sounds like a wolf," he thought. He followed the sound to Granny's cottage, looked through the window, and saw the wolf with his bulging belly snoring on the bed. "I wonder what the wolf has eaten today," thought the hunter. "His belly looks enormous." Close your